Hello, everybody.
Hello everyone.
Let's wait for 2 minutes and you can share this link. The link is in the comments too. You can share this live with your friends. You can invite your friends and your classmates. Let's wait for more 2 to 3 minutes and yeah, we will continue.
Invite your friends to the stream, guys. We'll be starting in just 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Guys, bring your friends because we have a surprise for you in the end. It will be a great surprise for you. Something interesting. So please bring on your friends.
Hello. Hello, Mohammed. Hey, Vatsal.
Hey Anish. Hi Varsha. Hi Vaishnavi. Hi Arushi. Also, guys, we crossed the 1K mark of views yesterday. So let's take this also there. Okay, so guys, I would like to invite the speaker once again. Yesterday's event was a boom, and today will also be great. So let's invite Mr. Akshay Kumar.
Hey all, how are you all doing on Sunday evening?
Hello, Akshay. It's great.
Hello.
Hi guys.
We
So
got to know on
congratulations
LinkedIn and all
to
that everyone liked your stream.
thank you very much, and we are here today on day two. So uh, let's make the time informative and fun with Flutter and Firebase today. And
Yes.
heartily congratulations to GDSC Pune team on crossing 1K views in less than 20 hours. Kudos to the organizers. Guys, come on, spam celebrations and chat.
It was a wonderful milestone.
Yes. Thank you guys for making it happen.
Yeah, thank you for joining for second day.
And thank you, Akshay, also for the yesterday stream.
Nice. So, what do we have in what do we have for fun now? Our audience are getting bored. Do you have something?
Yes, I think we have something.
Ayush, let's announce the biggest news, the surprise that they will be getting at the end of this session.
Yes. Okay, so everybody, big announcement coming. Stay tuned till the end of the stream. You will definitely get something.
And who are on the stream right now? You just need to open your Twitter, Instagram, and let us know how did you feel about yesterday's session. How are you feeling right now, with the sessions, what GDSC Pune is presenting. Tag GDSC Pune, hashtag Flutter extended, Flutter forward extended, tag me, Ayush, Shreya, GDSC. So let's make it popular at a global scale. Come on, guys, because we need to bring Dash to our session. So we need your support. Come on, tweet.
Yes, guys, Dash will also be attending today's session.
I have just commented the Instagram handle of GDSC Pune, so you can tag them. And here's a breakthrough or peekaboo in this session. Whatever happening in this session, just keep a keen eye on it. In today's quizzes, you might expect few answers. If you are being attentive, then you can also be the winners.
And if you are the winner, then we have something for you. But you
Yeah,
have to wait till the end.
that's amazing. Can't wait actually. We can't wait to
Yes,
reveal
same
it to
here.
you. So I guess we are good to go. Let us begin with the sessions. And in between, there are few breaks that you might find quite attractive. So just bear with us, and without wasting much time, let's start with the session.
Yes, let's go on.
Yo, so let's start today's session. A very good evening to you all, and very thank you and congratulations on making on day two of Flutter Forward Extended, hosted by GDSC Pune. And yesterday we saw why we love Flutter, what Flutter does, and also we saw a sneak peek into Flutter documentation. And we quickly jumped directly to learn some very basics of Dart, and we also did a single page app on Flutter on the fly before at end of the stream. And today we'll be continuing from where we left yesterday. That is, we'll be covering how do we navigate between two pages in Flutter. And yeah, let us add a fun element, that is, we'll be also integrating Firebase to our Flutter project. So we'll see what is this Firebase, why is it used, and why is it more popular, and everything. So without further ado, we'll start our session today. I hope my screen is visible to you all. So
Yes,
just
your
to
screen is.
done. And just to have a quick glance of what we did yesterday, was we created our Flutter app, and we saw what does the main.dart do. And then what we did is we quickly understood what is stateless widget, and we understood what is stateful widget, and we also created our own page widget, and we named it as a chat page. And we tried to replicate a WhatsApp UI with with a chat list very similar. And we saw what does app bar do, and what is a text widget, a list view, etc. So now let us try to add a navigation to our Flutter application. Say for example, I am on this page, and if I click on this item, or say let us change the text, and we can give it as, oh, yeah, we have three names now over here. And what we want to do is basically we want to navigate our user when user is trying to switch between the screens. Say for example, user is now on the main screen, and we want to take user to the chat page when he clicks on my name or any other name. So how can we do that? Usually this is termed as gesture detection in Flutter, and we have gesture detection widgets in Flutter. And they are gesture detector, inkwell, and we have several buttons such as elevated button, text button. And also the widget what we used yesterday, it also has a parameter by default in it. And and that attribute is called as on tap or on long press. So it is very simple. If we just click it, then on tap gets executed. And if we want to do something on long press, such as we want to delete, or we want to mark it as star or etc., then we can use on long press. And when we click on tap, so this is called as anonymous function, where this is like a function where without a attribute where it gets called automatically when a users detect. And at first, let us see what happens when I do print. uh, so I'm just want to cross check whether my cross check whether on tap is working or not. You can just add debug print. So you could ask me like, why have I used debug print over here instead of just the normal print? The main key difference is between debug print and a print is both serves the same purpose of consoling some output on our terminal. But the major difference between these two is when we use debug print, all the debug prints won't be visible when we generate our application release APK. It will be automatically hidden where end users cannot view any logs what we print, but it does get printed when we use a print. So regardless of is it a debug APK or a release APK, or while testing out how we are doing right now, we will be getting a lot of will be getting a lot of print messages. And if you are very careless, or how developers we do, where we try to print our API keys or passwords or anything just for debugging purpose, and we leave them as it is because we don't care, uh, thinking that nobody is gonna read that, be very very careful. So don't use print for debugging, you can use debug print. And in debug print, what you can do is you can print something as click the chat item. And yes, you we saved it, hot reload happened. And now if I click on any of the item, you can see that it is coming here, click the chat item. So I can check this, the click chat item is printed over here. And this happens when I tap on Akshay. So you can see here. So we now got how on tap works. And now all we need to do is we first need to create a one more widget. Okay, say for example, now it is let us rename this widget to chat homepage. And now you can add a dart file called as chat page. And yeah, in main.dart you can automatically see that our import was refactored properly. And now let us import material.dart so that we get access to the Flutter widget library. And again, let us have a practice of creating our stateful widget. And this time let us take some reference from our yesterday's dart tutorial, where we will accept the parameters as a constructor. For example, I need name of the person, I need description, and maybe we can print as message. And now you can see uh, in our constructor I need to import all this. And now if you see over here, it is giving us an error. It is giving us a null safety warning saying that the name cannot have the value of null because of its type, but the implicit default value is null. So if we want to continue like this, where we can open a page without name, description or message, we just need to mark this as a nullable. If we don't want to happen this, if we forcefully uh, want to navigate our user to the new page, but with this all these arguments, then we can use the required keyword where this automatically prompts you developer to provide this information in order to route the our user from screen A to screen B. In our case, it is from screen chat homepage to chat page. And if you could see here, before we had a const, and now it is giving us warning because we can't define a constructor as a const because we have a non-final attribute we will be accepting in a constructor, so we have to remove this. And yeah, and now we are good to go. And from our chat home page, what we will do now is, all we need to do is we can click on navi navigator dot of context. Then we get a lot of autocomplete over here. We have push. It is the navigation in Flutter, I can say, is very similar to the stack operation, where we push the new page to the stack, and if you want to remove it, we will pop from the stack. And the same way we have push replacement, where it replaces the current page and pushes the new page to the stack. And also we have push named and pop until push replacement named. This push named and replacement named is something very similar how our web navigation work, where we have the named pages with a particular name, and we will be routing based on that. Right now we will be doing a very simple navigation, which is material, which is push with material page route. And it asks the builder, and in the builder we will be passing the new page what we want to navigate to, that is chat page in our case. And now if you can see, if I zoom out a little bit, and if you can see here, it is it is showing with the underlined where chat page. Okay, I have to rename this as well. Let me do this. I can rename our new page as chat description page dot description page. And now what we need to do is, under our navigation dot push, this will be chat description page. And you can see here, automatically it is asking me to provide all these three parameters. And in this case, name is Akshay, message is, hey guys, welcome to stream days session 2. And also we can provide our description saying that, hello, keep watching, surprise at the end buddy. So like this is some random, I mean, this is the placeholder I want a user to see when he goes to the new page. And now when I try to click on Akshay, we ended on a blank screen. And if you recall from our yesterday's session, for a reference, we have added a widget which is empty. That's why we have an empty canvas on our screen, because it is just a container. And I'm replacing it with the scaffold. Yes, now we see that we have our page widget, and I can add app bar like yesterday with title. And for a change, this will be now a widget dot name. So we have our attributes named over here, and we will be using we can use our constructor attribute as widget dot name. Like this is the widget, and this widget has the property name, so display me that. And yes, now you can see like my name came, and all I can do is I can click on back, and I'm on the first screen. And if I change this to Kumar view, and if I rebuild and if I reload and try to open, then I have my latest name over here. That is very very fine. And now in body, what I want is I want to display a two text, which is uh, I want to display the description and id what was yeah, message and a description one below the other. In Flutter, we know that for the layout, for achieving one below the other, either we have to use list view or column widget. And in our case, this will be as column widget. And column accepts the array list of the widgets. And again, I'll be using text widget. In our case, this will be widget dot message and text widget dot description. So, and if we hot reload, now you can see that my message, the pass whatever the parameters whatever I passed is just over here. And now what I can do is let me style this a little bit. Let us explore some textile parameters. Let us see font size. Let us make it 30. And we can also have, we can change our color, and we can access our color palette such as colors dot, and we can print it. And also you can have, we have we have varied parameters over here: letter spacing, word spacing. We can pass many colors: the decoration color, background color, the color, background color, color. So this is about our textile. And if I hot reload quickly, we can see our changes on the screen. Let me make this to 25, it's too much. And very similarly, let me make it bold, the description bold. And same way it is style, text style. And in this I can give font size as 28 and font weight as font weight dot bold. And I can save over here. So this is about our text widget. And say like I need a gap between these two, and definitely we need to add some padding in this case. So in order to achieve that, it is as simple as that. Again, you can click on the widget, you can click on the bulb, you can then click on wrap with widget, and you can add the widget such as padding. And now we have padding where we can apply. And in order to apply the padding, we need to specify as a edge sets dot. Then we have four commonly used padding attributes. One is 0, it eliminates the padding, it mentions that this widget doesn't need any padding. Then we have symmetric, where it applies the same value in terms of vertical and horizontal. We have only one, where we can apply padding from one place, that is either from left to, either it could be left, right, top and bottom, or we can give one value which will be applied as the same value for both vertical and horizontal, and the value should be in terms of double, and let me give it as 10. If I save, now you will see that the padding is applied, and I can make this one more change. If I give it 20, can see like it is more even cleaner. And let us try this assignment once again. What we need to do is we need to click on text, we need to click on text, and then let us give as a constant value over here. And now I can click on text, bulb, wrap with widget, and this is padding, and the padding will be at the insets dot. Let us try symmetric this time, and for vertical I'm giving 50, and for horizontal I'm giving just 5. And now you will see the difference, where you can see the vertical padding is more but the horizontal padding is very less. And if I make the horizontal padding more, and you can see that horizontally the padding is more now. So this way, we can design our basic layout widgets, and we can align. And if you want this both to be like side by side, all I need to do is take this out and take the row and make it column. But as you can see here, we are running into one error, a very popular error in Flutter, which is called as render flex overflowed. This is because we try to print our name at we try to print this text widget, and it is going out of screen. There is no place to draw the widget, the rest part of the widget, so it is giving us an error. So in order to overcome, we can quickly wrap our widget with one uh, widget that is called as expanded. So what this does is it will make sure it will only print our widget if it will only print our widget, and it doesn't throw error, because it is trying to utilize the available screen space. It is trying to it is trying to utilize the available screen space, and making its adjustment. And say for example, there is one attribute called as flex over here. If I increase this flex, then we can see that this widget is having two flex. Or if I want this also to be printed to, it is automatically adjusting. Or if I can basically uh, play around with this flex property in order to adjust the minimum value for flex, or by default will be 1. And you can go on by making use of this flex property, so that now the widget 1 is already gone and we have the widget 2. So this is about some of the basics of designing. And now coming back, let's explore. We saw push. So if I click on back, this will route me to the back page. And if I do push replacement, and if I navigate if I navigate to the screen, if I click on back, you can see that app only went away. This is because there is no fallback page. If I pop this out of stack, the stack is empty. The same principle in Flutter, the navigation works. So say when do we use push and push replacements? So for example, say using you are using routing when you're authenticating a user, so that you don't need a user to come back to the login screen again, because he's already authenticated. At that time you can definitely use push replacement. And you can use push at a subsequent pages such as WhatsApp. Say you go to chat and you can come back, so we can wisely use our navigation topic. So at this time I would like to stop, and I let us discuss any questions you guys have, and maybe we can continue. Any questions regarding navigation, or can we continue ahead?
Comment below your question, guys, if you have any questions, so that we can move forward. I don't think so. Anybody have a question, Akshay?
That's fine. And yeah, now we saw, just to have a short recap, we did add one more screen to our Flutter app, and we tried to navigate between the screens, and we understood how navigation works, such as routing and route replacement, in a simple words, like pushing a new page and replacing a page in our Flutter application. And now to continue ahead, let us try to see how can we integrate the simplest backend to our Flutter application, with a minimal backend knowledge, or whoever have no backend knowledge, how can a app developer do the backend, uh, could be the most question which is kind of debatable. And even in companies where we nowadays, with the serverless infrastructure what we have, we are going ahead where uh, we are having many backend as a service uh, companies, which are providing services where we don't need a backend team, and a developer can manage at a starting. And we'll be taking a look at one of the service which is again by Google, very simple, developer friendly, well maintained product. And if you are guessing already, yes, it is Firebase. Firebase is Google's
I guess there
recommended
is so much of
service.
theory now, so much of coding, coding, coding. Should we take a break from coding? Should we do something interesting? Is the audience interested to doing something interesting, guys?
I guess
I
they
am.
need a quiz. They need a
Okay,
quiz.
so I guess we should start with a quiz. Okay, guys, so we are here with the quiz. Please scan the QR code or else go to slido.com and put the code and enter the quiz. We'll be waiting a minute for the quiz to get started.
You can either scan this QR or else you can visit slido.com and enter this code. I'll be typing this code in the comment section so you can directly copy paste from here.
Join the slido.com, guys. Let's start the quiz, I guess. Should I start the quiz or should I wait for some?
I feel
Let's wait
let's
for
wait
1 more minute.
for. Yeah.
Yes. I guess we should start the quiz now. So, first out, give your GDSC a shout out, guys. Shout out to your college GDSC. Let's see how many GDSCs are there. Okay, mostly GDSC, DYPCUE, Vishwakarma University. Vishwakarma University was yesterday also. MIT AOE, MESCOE, AISSMS. Okay, nice crowd. I guess that's it. Shall we move on to the next question? No, let's wait. People are typing. Hey GDSC, MIT AOE. Okay, let's go to the next question, guys. MESCOE. Okay, most crowd is from DYPCOE, I guess, and then MESCOE. Vishwakarma University is also there. It was also yesterday. Also MIT AOE. Okay, let's go to the next question. Have you watched yesterday's live session? Yes, till end? Yes, till halfway? Or no? Your first day today? Guys, do watch yesterday's live session. It's on YouTube on the GDSC Pune's channel. Okay, so 92% watched till end. 8% are newbies today. No problem, you can watch the video on YouTube, guys. It's there. Okay, increasing. 7% watched till halfway. 13%. That's a nice 50-50 between the halfway and first day ones. It's okay, guys. You both can watch it today after this event. So let's move on to the next question. Join the quiz, guys. Okay. Also, be there for the last quiz which we have on the YouTube. It will be a great. It will get you something great in the end. Till that, wait and watch. Okay, so I'm starting the quiz in 3, 2, 1, and here it is. Which widget will you use to show repeating elements? Is it the list view, expanding view, container view, or recycler view? You have 72 seconds for it, guys. Vote fast. Guys, also click the on the send or else the answer won't be received by us. Select the answer and click on the send button in the bottom. Okay, 20 seconds left. Hurry up, guys. Is it A, is it B, or is it D, or is it C? Okay, so list view. Most of you have 50% is on the list view. Let's see which is the right answer. And it's the A. Omkar is first, then goes to Arjun Ingole, then Asita, then Saibot, then Chota Bheem. Okay, guys, I think that is it. We'll be starting it.
That's a cute wallpaper, by the way.
Oh, this is so cute. Do you know the name, guys? Does anyone know his name? Spam in the comment section. Talking about him. Let's see. So cute, so cute. Okay, so yes, we know the name. He is Dash. So, do you want to know more about Dash? You know, he has a official documentation on the Flutter. He is Dash. You know why he is called Dash? Because he is dashing. You can
And the
see
great
here
part is
Dash
that,
printed.
yeah, you cannot just take your eyes off it. It's so cute. Dash.
Yes. See this. These are the coders when they get Dash. They are so damn happy. Yeah. I also want one. Do you want Shreya?
I want one. Actually,
You
I
know some
want
Dash
the
facts.
female.
Dash is a female. Dash has an
Oh,
Instagram account.
damn.
So much of
Devin says
documentation, right?
cute, yeah,
Do
dashing
you
it.
remember something after documentation?
I don't.
Okay, so after all this documentation, guys, there were so many people who didn't attended last event fully, or maybe they attended till halfway. So if you want to know about yesterday's session, or you want to know about the Flutter, so we have a Medium blog for you. Please, Rhea, can you share it?
Yeah, I will be sharing in the comment section soon. It's a
Okay.
beginner friendly blog, and anybody could read it, and you can get your mind clear about Flutter and how do we begin through Flutter.
Yes, guys, just learn Flutter and start your first start your first project, and do tweet about it and do tag us. You'll get a reshare. So I guess we should start with the session. So let's get
Yes.
into coding now.
Yeah, that was a fun interactive time. Now, continuing ahead. Let us now get into in let us understand what Firebase is and why do developers love Firebase and what features Firebase offers. Very quick, and let us try to integrate it with our Flutter application. And let's continue. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes. So for our folks very curious on what is this Firebase, Firebase is a backend as a service which is backed by Google, which right now is part of a Google family, where it provides everything from backend NoSQL database to integrating build as a service, as well as analytics, cloud functions, a serverless environment with ease of integration for our mobile developers. So I have a very simple demonstration. You can see over layer we have a Firebase, and it is able to support many databases in real time. And I have some slides, which is, able to like give you a picturized insights, where we have three sections in Firebase, categories in Firebase, where in one of the category you get everything related from database to authentication, service to upload your images and videos, to host your website. And we have a grow section where you can engage users by sending the push notifications. The notifications what we get from Swiggy, Zomato are one of the ways how app can be integrated is with Firebase push notifications. And also we can integrate ad mob and we can earn. So what makes Firebase powerful is very simple, because we have to not worry on hosting a server or configuring any server, but because like there is no backend worries, and everything is at a single place, from crashlytics to analytics. And it also Firebase supports the ML models, where we can load dynamically. And this is one of the simple example I can give it to you, where this app which uses Firebase, and app uses Firebase authentication, and it authenticates the user, and it also is integrated with a real-time database. And in turn, this Firebase services could be triggered by the Firebase cloud functions in order to integrate many services such as payment gateway, etc. And also it tracks our Google Analytics. So this is the main difference between Firebase and the traditional servers what we have learned in our colleges, or like we have heard of, where in traditionally we call it where we have a client applications where it talk to our server, and from our server we will be integrating several databases and SDKs. And when it comes to Firebase, it is a flat where client directly talk with Firebase, and Firebase handles all these services for us. So without further ado, let us get started. And very simple steps again. We need to create a Firebase project. We need to add a Firebase plugin package, and we need to configure our databases, and we can begin. So this is the simple process, where now right before we had a separate website called as Flutter Fire in order to get the updated documentation. And now worry not, because we have a Flutter support here. And if you are looking for an official document on the Firebase to read, then firebase.google.com/docs/flutter is the URL. And here you can see all we have to do is we need to activate our Flutterfire CLI, and this will help us to configure, and also we can directly add our packages and it will just help us to run. So very quickly now let us see how can we do create our Flutter project and link it with the Firebase project. So in Firebase we can click on add project, and here you can name it as GDSC Pune. And if you now click on continue, it will ask us to enable, do you need to track the Google Analytics for your project by default without any hassle, then you can keep this enabled, or else you can click on continue directly. And now if I need to configure the Google Analytics, either you can use the default account for Firebase, or as you can use or create a new account. For now let us keep it very simple. Let us have it as a default account and create. And yeah, now we have our Firebase working in a background, which is helping us to set up a Firebase project for us. And now our project is ready. Within less than a minute we created our Firebase project, and we ended up here. And now before we used to get only these three options, but now we are also getting a direct option where we can click on Flutter and we can integrate it directly and through the Flutter Fire CLI. This requires us to install the Flutter Firebase CLI, and it asks us to log in, and then create our Flutter project. Or else if we have already the project, then we can click on Android because we want to debug it on Android, and it is asking the package name, and we will get our package name in our Android folder, application folder. Then in source we have the Android manifest file, and here you can see that we can give the Android's package name, that is com.akshay.first app, and I can name this as GDSC Pune. This can be anything. And if you want to use any Firebase services with such as Google sign in or Facebook sign in, then it asks us to provide an SHA certificate. We are not doing anything regarding that, so we can click on register app. So this is the second step of Firebase. And now when we see this, we just added our details, and now our app is registered. And now all we need to do is we need to download this, and we need to click on next. And now what we need to do is, now we have to do the native specific configuration where we have to quit our working app right now. And what we have to do is we have to add our downloaded Google services files under Android folder, in Android under app folder. So let us quickly find our downloads the Google service. I am going to copy this and I am going to paste over here. And once we are doing this, let us try to remove this, and we can click on save. And you have to be sure that we should not commit this file to our git control, because this contains the secrets credential information which we should not commit publicly, because anybody who has access to our services file will there is a high chance that they might cause us a trouble. And now what we need to do is we need to just add Google services lines at the Gradle file which we find over here. And now we can, directly come to the next step, and we need to just add these files, these dependencies for Android. So let us try to, add this Google services plugins under apps build.gradle. Yeah, in dependencies, what we can do is we can copy this and we can paste over here, and we need to add our dependencies. We need to paste one more line, and this should be so we let me do this. And once we are done, we'll be good to go. And now if we try to run our app, this should not give us any grid related issues. So this says that our installation is successful, and we have some error over here. Okay, we have. Okay, let me try to copy this and try properly. I guess I deleted the file. Sorry. And now in build.gradle, this is, I need to delete this line and add, paste a code over here. And now I can click on build Flutter. And now if I try to run the app, and let us see. Okay, let me try to open this directly. Or we can do one thing. We'll try the Firebase direct CLI approach, where we can click on. Let me delete this. We can. We are repeating our step again. Let us wait for our project to be created. And let us click on Flutter, and I just click on Flutter CLI link which is provided, and I can click on macOS, and for macOS it is asking me to for macOS it is asking me to install the Fire CLI using these options. That is either I can just run this curl URL which I have already done. Or if you have not done, basically you'll get a Firebase not found error, and at that time you need to paste this code coming over your Android Studio. You can click on terminal and you can paste this code and run it, and this will ask for your password, and this will check if Firebase tool on the path exists. So it is saying that Firebase tools is already installed, and in this case you will see. And now, just a second. Sorry for the disturbance. And now we saw that we did install our Firebase CLI, and now what I need to do is, if I zoom my terminal, now it is I have to run Firebase login, and I have a different email logged in, so I have to log out. And now let us try to do Firebase login, and it will ask us for a consent. And now we have to click on yes, and now this will ask for the emails whatever we have. So I'm selecting the email what I want to provide an access to, and I clicked on allowed. And when you see over here, now I'm logged in, and now again we are going back uh, to our document for Flutter. After Firebase login, we need to run this dart pub global activate Flutterfire CLI, so that we can now copy the code. And if we execute this, this will install the Flutter CLI packages, and you can see it has installed all the required Flutterfire command line tools to do it. And now from our project, what I need to do is just use Flutter Fire, and I can do the command is Flutter Fire configure. And now if I click on run, it will automatically fetch the available projects from my Firebase console which I just showed. And you can select. I have a lot of projects over here, so go through let me quickly go to my GDSC Pune, and I can click on 1 minute. Now I have a lot of project over here. Let me select the right one. Yeah. Now I have selected GDSC Pune project which we just created, and now I need to select what are the apps I need to configure for. For now, I can directly select all four, or else I'm using space to select and deselect. And you can you know use a configure for the platform unit. For now, like, let's keep it a plain simple for Android, and I can click on enter. And you can see that Firebase Android app is not registered, and now it is registering on the website. So the process which I was trying to uh, add manually is now being automated at the latest version. So before we used to configure platform by platform, but we don't need it right now. And now you can see that it is asking me that the project already has google services.json file exit, but for a different firebase project. Do you want to replace it with the firebase project? And I can click on yes. And you can see now that firebase configuration is done. So like within a minute we created a flutter firebase project. And now also within a minute we installed our firebase cli, we activated flutterfire command line tool, and we did set up our project for android. Now to cross check, right? So like we can go to our flutter website, and if I refresh, so firebase website, if I refresh, can you see here my app is automatically added over here. So now we are done with our now we are done with adding our app to our firebase console. That is, we have successfully linked integrating. All now we need to do is we have to explore the build category of the firebase, and let us try to see what do we have in authentication for us. So why do we need authentication? Say like if our app is public, then anybody can use it, but when we want only the app to be available for restricted users, at that time we need to have some gate where we can monitor who is using the app and what user is doing. And that gate in technical terms is called as authentication. So we have many types of authentication. From simple, we start with email password authentication, and also we have social logins. We have we have phone OTP authentication. So Firebase does support all of us. And you can see over here, like we have Google, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, phone, etc. And all we need to do is we can click on get started. And now what we need to do is we need to enable the services what we want. So as a native provider which is provided solely by the firebase is email password, phone, and anonymous login, uh, where we have the guest account which lets us to enforce the user specific like security rules what we have added. And then we have the phone authentication, as simple as we give the phone mobile number, then we are able to verify the user through the OTP. Then we have email password. So for a simplicity's sake, let us for to get the understanding on authentication, how do we do with flutter, all we can do is we can click on enable for email password, and then we can click on save. And now when we do, we can see that the email password is now already we were able to add and enable email password to the project. And all we need to do is we need to ask user a email id and a password, and we can allow the login. And now under the user you can see like we have empty you like there are no users. So you can click on user, and for this I can give the email as akshay@gmail.com, and password is GDSC123. And I can click on add user. uh, and now let us carry over from our Flutter app. Now what I need to do is now what I will be doing is we will be configuring Firebase at our app side, and we'll see how to do it again by referring our uh, Firebase documentation. So here we need to add mainly main package to start using Firebase in our Flutter, the Dart code, that is Firebase core, and then we will be integrating the secondary packages such as Firebase Auth, Cloud Firestore, etc. And now all I need to do is, yeah, we have no errors, so I'm gonna stop and coming to terminal. I am going to add a Firebase core, that is by doing flutter pub add Firebase core package. Yes, we did add Firebase core to our package, and now what I have to do is I have to initialize my Firebase app so that my Flutter app can communicate with our Flutter with our Firebase backend. And in order to do this, I need to add this line before I add my before I initialize my app, before running my app. That is the first widget what we are seeing over here, the my app, that is initialize app, and the code is firebase.initialize app. And we can see that we are getting an error because we need to import our Firebase imports over here, that is Firebase core, and Firebase options is also generated over here, where in Firebase option it has added our app id, API, project id, etc. And now I can click on run and we can see what happens. So if we have followed all the process properly according to our documentation, then we should not get any error. And if we get an any error, then like, let's fix it, no worries. So our app is installed and we did run into error. This is because we forgot let us read the error. So binding has not yet been initialized. So this error says that I'm trying to initialize Firebase service before the Flutter has uh, completed its initial rendering service. That is the binding, what we can say the procedure where Flutter tries to build a widget tree and initialize is all a native dependencies, etc. So before that I need to add this code, uh, you know before the run app, and that's what I'm going to do over here. And then now if I stop and if I run, the error should be gone. So let us see. So we did initializing all Firebase APIs for app. So we got a message from Firebase saying that okay, we have initialized your Firebase credentials, which we want to establish a communication to your Flutter project. And now let us try to create a page, but this time we will call this as email login page dot. And I need to refactor because I did a mistake. So now I can say this as email login page dot email login page. And then we have to import material.dart, and in our main dart, for a change right now, instead of chat page, let us call email login page. We will see how to do a email login. And now let us keep it very simple. Let us first do our ritual of adding a scaffold, and now we will need to ask a user to type his email id and a password, and we need to add a button where on clicking on the button a user should be evaluated with our Firebase test user by using our Firebase auth package, and then we should be able to log in our user to the app, or we should say that user not found. So in order to do that, right now what I can do is, let us try to add you know a form widget where we need to collect a user's detail, and this form is expecting the child, and this child widget is our column. This will be our email, password and button. So let us make it as text form field, and we need two text form field. Okay, you can see here, there is one over here and there is one over here. Let us try to center it down, and by giving main axis alignment as center. So when I say the main axis alignment as center, the children's will be aligned to the center of the screen with respect to the vertical orientation. So now this is very plain, very bad UI. Let us try to add a decoration over here, and the decoration can be done to the input form field is via input decoration, and I can add a hint over here saying that this is expecting a string. So this could be email, and for this I can copy paste and say this as password. And also you can add a border to the you can add border to this decoration saying as input border. You can see here the border. We have the border variable. We in fact we have three types of border here, and we can see what type of borders we are supported, that is by the text form field, that is error border, focused border, disabled border, enabled border and the border. And we can simply initialize the border saying that outline input border, and this draws the box for us. And we can say no input underline input border, and it will just give us an underline. So let us try to make it outline input border. And how about we give some padding so that it looks amazing? So now you can see it is looking good. Very similarly, let us try to add a border for our password as well, and let us wrap this with padding. Yes, we have our email and password. And now if I type anything in a password, you can see that it is visible. It should not be visible. For that, we can hide it by making it as obscure text as true. And now the magic happens. Everything will be turned to dot. This is what we needed. Perfect. Now we need to also add a button This could be a elevated button where one of the gesture button I talked about, and this could be as simple as login. And yes, we did pull up a quick dirty UI in order to test our Firebase logic. Now our login is ready, and now we have to I have to show you one important property about forms. Let us try to read forms in Flutter. So, like, now, for if you are first using the form for the first time, we need some workable code, right? That's the special about our Flutter documentation. You can see here we have a very detailed description on how to build a form with validation. That is how to evaluate if it is missing or if the email is not provided or etc. So here you can see there is a quick Flutter snippet given. You can copy directly and you can create a dart file and you can paste it over there, and you can run it very quickly. So at this you can see here, what we just did was we added the form code. We added two buttons, text form fields and elevated button, very similar to what's provided here. And in order to have the control of validation, we need to add this key that is called as a global key in Flutter, which is one kind of a key. We have two types of keys in Flutter, that is global key and a value key. Where global key, if we assign it to a widget, we can control the widget or access the widget's property uh, using this variable, and this globality is of a type of form state. So let us quickly get our key, and we need to paste it over here, and this could be as a login key, and now we need to assign the key with login. So at this point, okay, after in our text form field, I can add a validator where this validator gives the current value typed in the field, and I can just check if this value contains it, then it is valid. If contains is missing, then it is not valid. But can you see here again the null safety coming into picture, that there is a probability that a user might not type anything. In this case it can be null. So in order to escape, in order to consider this case, we have to click, we need to add a exclamation before the dot contains, because this says that the value, the email can be empty. Then I can return saying that provide email address. So provide email, or else like return null, like it is good. Then similarly we can add for password, but I leave that to you as an assignment maybe. And now, when you when I when a user click on login, I can just debug print. So now, okay, let us do one thing. We need to also store our email and password, right? So let us create a variable as email and a password, where we will be able to store our email and password in order to do the validation. And initially this will be null, this can be null. And once the validation is done, and when we click on save, we need to store this email text, what is typed over in this, what we get as a value. And we need to update our email, we need to update our email. Wait, we need to update our email, and very similarly we need to update our password. Now we have the email and we have the password. All I need to do now is say if login key dot current state dot validate. If this validation is done, then only I can proceed, or else like I should not proceed. So else you can, print that user cannot proceed maybe. Okay, and now we by miss we have this HTML import on our page, and we can refresh. And now when you click on login, you can see cannot proceed just got printed, and our validator code got executed. Provide email is being prompted because we tried to proceed without any details. So our validation check just did work. And now what if I now let us print if once. And now once after we added our validation check, let us try to print if our value is getting stored or not. So now if I give over here saying that as Akshay at gmail.com and password as say some password, our text got obscured and our email is now provided. And if I click on log in, I need to save my, yeah, this says that this could be empty, that is fine. And if I click on login, it just printed our value. So our Flutter side logic is now done, where we created a we created a simple form, and now all we need to do is I have to add Firebase auth as a, now I need to add Firebase auth package, and I have to quickly see in this document, Firebase document, on adding how to add a Firebase, integrate a Firebase auth to our logic. So all I need to see is where is Firebase authentication over here. Yes, Firebase authentication is over here. We just did our Firebase auth. Now I need to import this auth in my form, and now I need to also make sure that we need to we need to start our password authentication section over here. So if you see over here, the code is already provided to us. The code is already provided to us. It is very simple, where I need this snippet. Okay, let me tell what this does, where we are trying to do a sign in with email password with the email address and the password, and we will be getting a user credential, and this will provide us the user details. And if we fail doing this, this could be due to a user email has not found because user has not created his account, or say wrong password, then we can just say that, dude, you can't enter our app because that you are not a user, you are not a right user. So Now if you see, now if you get the link, uh, on what we are trying to exactly establish is, now we have our email and password. All we need to do is, uh, we need to pass this, our email and password variable, and we need to say this as, this could be null, but we will be doing our null check. And before proceeding, on valid before maybe after save, we can do this as simple as that: email and password, where we can check not equal to null, not equal to null, and we can add our snippet over here, snippet inside, so that we don't get yeah, we don't run into null issues. And let us try to debug print what our credential dot user dot, yeah, we'll try to print the whole user object, and we'll try to see what would we get. So now at this point, you could see that there are few new keywords over here. We have final, because this credential should not be editable, and we have a try catch syntax over here. And there is this very very important concept of async and await in Flutter, because that is a single threaded programming language, and at some times, such as scenarios like this, when we have to wait for some data, that can't handle this situation automatically. So at this time, what we will be needing is a mechanism to wait until we get the data and then proceed. And this is the main purpose of async and await. We say that there is some asynchronous actions, the asynchronous task will be going on, and when await is used, the Flutter app will just hang in there, hold, wait for the data. It gets the data, then it proceeds. If it gets an error, then it just stops there. And if you see a loading screen in the app, if you are doing in Flutter, then this async and await is main way, uh, main way to do it. And we just added our code over here, so it will wait until our sign in with email password uh, to be done. And if it is successful, we'll be getting the user, and if it is failure, then we'll print the output. And now if I click on run, and let us see what do we get. Yeah, now we did actually integrate a Firebase auth. Let me try to give my wrong email and see what happens now. So when I click on login, user not found for that email. Yes, the Firebase exception case got handled very well. Now if I do akshay@gmail.com, and maybe if the password is right, yes, we did able to log in. So you can see over here, user email verified. And now in this case, I can quickly bring up the navigator dot off dot push replacement, and the new route I can add, where I can route to the chat home page, where I can route to the chat page only and only if we are able to uh, verify the user successfully. So if I hot restart now, and try login again. Akshay1 at gmail.com and password as some random password and login. Yes, we got an error. And if I give an right email and password, then we did actually verify our user successfully, and we can see that variable parameters given by the Firebase to us give with the metadata when this user was created, the last sign in time, whether a user has a photo, display name, etc. And also we did route. And if I click back, app just goes away. We are like very securely handled our case of allowing user to log in only once. So this is about the Firebase authentication, and very similar to how I showed the plug and play service. Like we have now you can see that created signing, everything is provided over here. And very similarly, like you can create a database, and where I'll show you the live database how I have used Firebase to create. Very simple. I need to just select. I need to click on create database, and I should be in a test mode in order to test. And I need to just select the locations where I want my database to be hosted. And if I enable, my database will be created. And what type of database is this? Because I'm getting an error. Let me check what is my. Let us try again. No issues. Yeah, okay. That was an error. Yeah, our database got created, and you can see here like this type is called as a firestore, where this follows the paradigm of collection of data documents, and each document has a multiple attributes, and in turn this document can have the nested collections. So let me try to give you one of the insight of one of the project which is hosted on Firebase on the Google Play Store, which uses Firebase as a backend, where you can see here this as a collection of the users over here, and each user document has their attributes, when what's the date of birth, the email ID, the location name, etc. And as the reference, what I can do is uh, mainly in documentation. Okay, let me come back to authenticate. And I in under Cloud Firestore, what I can do is I can click on get started directly, and I should be able to just add the Cloud Firestore, and then rest the Firebase will give us uh, Firebase documentation is providing us with a lot of snippets and understanding. I need to just integrate it with Flutter. For example, here we have the write query where we are trying to add our uh, user to our database under the users collection, and then we are printing the ID of that document. And very similarly, we can also read the data by using by referencing the collections dot get, and then we were able to print exactly. So if we want to kind of get the particular user, then this will be like db dot collection of users dot doc of akshay at gmail.com if it is hosted, and then it gets the data of that particular doc. And we have a lot of uh, best practices with this, along with the example over here. I would highly recommend you to give this a good read, and we can have a separate workshop where we can develop a live app with Firebase with Firebase as a backend service with our Flutter app. And if even though like you started Flutter journey a week or if you want to try it right now, you can have firebase.google.com/docs as your reference and integrate Firebase as your backend services. So that's main agenda. This was the main agenda for today. So we saw how to integrate Firebase with our Flutter app. Also, we saw routing. We understood async and await concept, and we did able to do Firebase authentication and see how Firebase Firestore, that is the database, works. So that's it from my side. Maybe we can have Ayush and Shreya with us. So we have reached at end of our session today.
It
So
was a
this was
great
about
session,
today.
by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so talking about the surprise which we said earlier, shall I reveal it?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
waiting.
so guys, here is the surprise. Join this Slido, scan the QR or type the code 11544715. Scan this QR for the surprise. We have something great for you. Join fast, guys, so I can, reveal the surprise. I guess I should start it. Okay, so this is the surprise. Tell us your email with your name, and we will be giving you the stickers of Flutter in the upcoming GDSC event in March. The name of the event will be a surprise. You will get to know about it soon. But yes, just text your emails, guys. We will be waiting for 4 more minutes. At 7:55, I guess we'll end this, and the people will be contacted by the team, and they will be given the stickers of Flutter in the next event happening in March. It will be an offline event. You guys will be contacted.
And also, if you are not watching this currently and you are watching it after the live stream ends, please make sure you drop your email in the chat box. We will pick it in the chat box. We will be visiting and monitoring this live chat for next 24 hours. So if you are watching this live stream after it's over, then don't worry. You can still use the chat box and drop your email. You will be contacted by our team. For the next event happening in Pune, which will be soon announced to you, you can get a special customized Flutter sheet from stickers from Sir itself.
Hope so, guys, you enjoyed today's session. Just comment below how you feel about today's session. Also, start with your first project and do tag us, tweet it on, and also LinkedIn it. Just spread it everywhere. You will definitely get a reshare from both sides, GDSC Pune also and GDSC DYPCOE also.
I guess all 10 people have mailed their mail in the chat. It's fine. And even
Okay.
if you're seeing this live video after it gets sent, after the time, it's okay. You can comment your email down and we will be monitoring it for next 24 hours from right now.
So thank you guys for joining on Sunday evening. Let's code Flutter, keep fluttering.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. I was very glad to be part of this stream. Uh, very happy to see folks you know showing interest in learning Flutter, and my job is to help you guys any way, any day, any possible. You can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can just search Akshay Kumar you, and you can DM me anytime. I would be very glad to answer your question and help you out. So keep fluttering. uh, have a very good evening, a pleasant, not a evening, I can say, Sunday night. So yeah, thank you organizers for bringing up a good initiative on hosting the Flutter Forward extended at a GDSC level. So kudos to organizers too. So thank you, Shreya and Ayush, for having me. All the best to you guys too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, one more thing I would like to add. Sir is visiting Pune in next month on 4th March. Is it right?
Yes, so I'll be in Pune this March 4th to 6th. And if you guys wanna hang out and have a fun chat with Flutter, sure, we can do that. And some Flutter stickers for sure.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we are ending
That's
this.
great.
Yeah, we are ending this live session. And please, once you end this description, please check on the description. All the links will be provided in the description itself. And the chat will be active for next 24 hours.
Okay. See
Thanks.
you guys. Keep fluttering.
Bye.
Bye.
Keep rocking.
Bye
Bye.
bye.